This is Greg Orloff with IIoT World, and I'm here at the ARC Industry Forum 2025. I'm having a conversation with Tom Burke, Mitsubishi Corporation. How you doing, Tom?
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you to talk about Mitsubishi and the CC-Link technology and what we're doing here at the ARC Forum.
Fantastic. Well, why don't you give us a little bit of an overview about some of the, maybe a high level on the topics that you wanted to talk about in terms of connected networks.
Okay, so, in our industry, there's a lot of different disparate devices and networks out there. And the challenge with all these different disparate networks is getting them to all coexist or be able to interoperate together.
Okay.
So we've been introducing about 6 years ago a technology called TSN, which stands for time-sensitive networking. And the time-sensitive networking technology is an underlying technology that allows other protocols to coexist and run on top of this in a seamless, interoperable fashion. TSN was used for audio-visual originally, and then we brought it into industrial automation. And organizations like PROFINET and Ethernet IP, and specifically the CLPA organization, are introducing the TSN technology and allowing their protocols to run on top of TSN to allow all these networks to converge and operate seamlessly together.
Now what's the advantage? Like, what's the driving motivation for using this?
The motivation is that I want to have all my networks work together, and I want to, streamline costs.
Okay.
So, for example, in the perfect world, I would only have one network. But the reality is we don't live in a perfect world. We've got different devices from Siemens and from Rockwell and Omron and Mitsubishi, and having them all require their own physical wire is very expensive and very difficult to maintain. So if you can run them on one simple wire, and then I can also put a printer on that wire as well, life is good.
So you're basically eliminating the need to run dedicated wire, so drawing copper for every device that's out there.
Correct. So you eliminate it and you run one wire and all the protocols run on the same wire.
So as we're seeing data usage, basically amplify across every aspect of the industrialized world, where do you see other opportunities for time-sensitive networks arising?
What I also didn't talk about is everybody talks about IT to OT convergence and the digital transformation. Now I can take my IT network and I can have it work with the OT network and have them have true data, throughput between both sides. And that's the big advantage. So all the world of the IT wants to have access to all these different devices out there. And there's literally thousands of devices. So it's an opportunity to get more data. And if I can get more data, I can make more intelligent decisions, transforming that data into useful information. That's what TSN provides, the solid foundation to enable the digital transformation.
Got it, that makes sense. Now, is this being leveraged at all from a sustainability standpoint as well?
Oh, clearly. Sustainability is like job number one of everything we're trying to do. I mean, whether it's process control, whether it's factory automation, all these different industries need to have sustainability as the core operation, to guarantee, delivery of data and then providing that data as information is the foundation that's necessary for sustainability.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Tom.
No problem. But quick overview of what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it.
Now, if somebody wanted to get involved, how do they reach out to you folks?
I was formerly the president and executive director of the OPC Foundation. I started OPC.
Okay.
And when I started OPC, I started looking at different technologies. I always had to take a look at what was the next best thing that would make sense from an interoperability perspective. TSN provides a very unique opportunity to allow a lot of different devices to coexist, and it was perfect. It met my need for interoperability.
Makes sense. So they should reach out to OPC. Is that the best contact point, or the?
Yeah. Well, I started out with OPC doing that, and then CLPA introduced TSN technology in 2018.
Okay.
And we've got, about 3,800 products that support the TSN technology right now across about 700 different vendors who have brought forth products on the technology.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing, Tom.
Great, it's a pleasure.